Hey everybody, welcome back to the Mumkey and Bigs show? Biggs, is it really you resurrected from your resurrection yet again?
No, it is me, Florian.
Oh, Florian, hey, I'm so happy you're here, man. I gotta tell you, I've been getting sick of that Biggs guy. I'm glad to have
the Biggs with 2 G's.
Oh, wait, are you Italian now? What was that? Say that again. Hold on.
The Biggs with 2 G's.
I'm a Florian. I like the corn, the pizza.
I like the corn, the pizza.
My people invented the pizza and the corn.
Mamma mia.
You know, Florian, whenever I mention, hey, maybe one of these days, since we're such good buddies, maybe you can get off your fucking lazy Austrian ass, jump on fucking JetBlue Airlines, and fly on over to the Midwest to hang out with me and Biggs. And Florian, it seems as though he's very antisocial and very anti-travel and very anti-spending time with other people in the same room. Frankly, I can't blame him, but I feel like Iowa being the most popular corn destination on the planet, is that fair to say? I feel like he could get the highest quality corn pizza if he just came for a visit. Do you think maybe this will be the way we entice him to actually come over?
Oh man, you know, the way you started that question, I thought you were addressing me as Florian, but then it changed.
No,
talking about Florian.
Oh, but there's so many layers. This is like a real onion. You gotta peel off all this shit to even answer a very simple question.
Oh man, maybe we can draw him in that way. You know, that top tier Iowa corn on the finest Casey's pizza.
Yeah, well, to be honest, Biggs, within 10 meters, the radius of any place in Iowa, you're probably within 10 meters of a cornfield. I literally live right next to some sort of field. I assume they grow corn. We could film ourselves, and since you're a famous chef who used to work at a 5-star Michelin gourmet restaurant as the head chef, you could make the highest quality corn pizza, and we could film ourselves stealing corn straight from the vine? Is that what corn grows on?
It's literally called corn stalks.
We could peel corn off of the vine, and Florian could see that, you know, we can entice him with the freshest, most culturally enriched corn pizza that he'll ever have. At that point, he'll have no choice but to come visit.
Now, do you really think the Midwest is the most culturally enriched area in the U.S.?
In terms of corn?
I mean, I guess.
What else would we have? Idaho has potatoes, and Ohio has serial gang rapists. In Iowa, we have corn.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no, we have a fair too.
One of these
the Iowa
is
State
not like
Fair.
the other, but sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, nobody really likes potatoes. We gotta be honest. Unless you're gonna mash them, like those serial rapists do to those pussies. If you know what I'm saying.
Okay. Next topic.
What, you don't want to talk more about?
No.
Okay.
Florian's little part got hijacked by something much worse.
Do you think maybe one day Florian can use his billions of dollars to fly you and I out to Austria, and we can, I guess, sleep on his floor? I don't think he probably doesn't even have a couch.
We could sleep on his Florian.
We could sleep with Florian? Whoa! That'll really entice him to get us together.
I think during one of the streams that we did together, I had actually asked him about going over there and hanging out, and he did not seem up to it.
Oh, no, he's not. Yeah, I've talked to him about this a lot. He's very antisocial. Again, I can't blame him. I would not want to force myself upon anybody. I'm not from Ohio.
Okay, what's the story with Ohio?
Have you been to Ohio, dude?
No, I have not.
Everywhere you turn in Ohio, there's a serial gang rapist waiting to pounce. When I was 11, I went to what's it called? Cedar Point. They had the fastest and tallest roller coaster in the world, the Top Thrill Dragster. Very boring ride for being the tallest and fastest roller coaster. It goes up and loops back, and then that's it. It lasts literally 5 seconds, and I waited in line for at least an hour and a half.
Wow, that's a interesting story about serial gang rapists.
Well, I feel like my time was raped because I waited so long for a ride, and since I was 11, I was too scared, so I closed my eyes the whole time. So really, I think it was a wasted opportunity. Big fat waste of time.
Okay, all right. Sure, that's clear as mud.
What's the best theme park you've ever been to, Biggs? Adventureland here in Iowa?
Adventureland is the only theme park I've ever been to.
You haven't been to like a Six Flags or anything?
No.
What the fuck?
What do you think, I'm made of money? The only other thing I've been to is like the Midway at the fair.
Oh, that's not that bad. Are you into rides? Because, dude, we can road trip to Six Flags after COVID, because that'd be fun.
If we're being completely honest, at this point, I'm not even sure I'll fit in the seats.
Well, they have. If you pay to get in, they have to accommodate every guest, even the most ridiculous request. If I recall, that's the motto.
Fit this very large man into that small seat.
Yeah, I mean, the space shot, and every amusement park has its own version of the space shot. It's just like the really tall tower, and you sit down, and then it blasts you straight up. I want to see you fit in a space shot seat.
Did I tell... Was that a piece of Big Street that I told on the show about the lady I know that
Who died?
No, she went up in the space shot.
And didn't come back down?
And when she got to the top, her seat unbuckled because she was so big.
Is that your worst nightmare?
Yes. She was so big that it literally popped the seatbelt out, and she had to hold it down the whole way down.
Fuck that.
Like, she said once it came down and bounced back up like it does, she came up out of the seat, and like the only thing that held her down was the thing around her neck, like held her to the seat.
Suffocating her?
Yeah.
I worked at Adventureland, and I did work the space shot, and there were a few people who I thought, maybe you should value your life more and not get on this ride. I don't think it's not going to be that safe.
I remember going that year, and she's like, "Oh yeah, we're going on the space shot." I'm like, "Are you sure?" And then that happened. I was like, I could have told you something like that was going to happen.
Well, if you don't like the space shot, what kind of ride is more your speed? A roller coaster?
Well, no, I like most of the rides, but realistically,
you like the teacups?
Anymore, teacups was fun, yeah.
Yeah, teacups at this point are going to probably make me nauseous and vomit.
The one I liked a lot was the Falling Star, which is like the one where you almost have like stadium seats, and then like it goes in circles, but then the seats like flip upside down as well.
Falling Star doesn't go upside down.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
No, the Falling Star doesn't go upside down.
Yes, it does.
The inverter goes upside down. The splash over goes upside down. The Falling Star, I promise you, I worked that ride. It does not go upside down.
Because it unlocks and the seat goes upside down.
No, you think that your head is closer to the ground than the rest of your body while you're on that ride.
Bro, the whole thing.
You are nuts. I will insert a video, because there's videos of every ride at Adventureland. It does not go upside down.
Maybe I'm thinking of the inverter. Was that the one with the seats?
That's the one that's the Falling Star, but it goes upside down. The inverter is the one that hurts your thighs like shit because you're holding you upside down by your thighs. It's just this really heavy pressurized bar holding down your legs, and it fucking hurts. It's not even fun.
It was probably that one then, but I remember it like going, like the ride goes in circles, but then the seats flip upside down as well.
No. Nobody even knows what we're talking about, but I like arguing anyway. If you want, I've been doing lots of bets lately. I bet on the election, and so far it looks like I'm gonna win. Do you want to bet on if the Falling Star goes upside down? I will bet you whatever pathetic money you have left.
I tell you what, if I lose this bet, we have to watch S. Darko.
Why would I agree to that? It's a lose-lose for me.
No, that's a fair bet.
I don't think that's okay. No, okay. Let's bring up what we were talking about before we started recording. I said the only way at this point that I'll watch S. Darko is if we film a nostalgia critic-esque video called the Nostalgia Biggs, or was it Biggs Critic? I think it's Nostalgia Biggs, and you have to do your impression of him reviewing the film. That's the only way I'll watch it, so I write the script for you to do this video.
That would be so insufferable, though.
Yeah, no shit. That's the whole point.
Maybe. We'll see. That seems
Maybe, baby. Do you know what that song is? You remember that?
I think
Does that ring a bell?
It does.
What anime intro goes, maybe, baby, do-do-do,
no. Is that... Okay, yeah, I remember.
Okay, what is it?
Isn't it Bigate Ichikai?
Yamada's first time?
Oh, no.
That pathetic, shitty anime changed my life forever. I can't believe it. I don't even like it.
We watched it as a meme one time.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, Big's like, can we watch this as a meme? But I'm going to have a pillow on my lap the whole time. Don't ask me why. Don't ask why there's a pillow on my lap while we're watching this fucking teenage anime.
So, since we want to delve into this piece of big story,
Mumkery.
So at this point, I have not delved much into anime. Like the only thing I had seen at that point is like Yu-Gi-Oh when I was a kid.
You hadn't seen Death Note yet?
No, that was...
We watched Bigate Ichikai before Death Note?
Okay, maybe it was during Death Note because it wasn't long after where we ended up binging Death Note.
No, because I remember you watched Death Note in high school, and we were graduated by the time we watched We Got H Kai because we were just bored and desperate.
Oh, that was that in the townhouse?
Yeah.
Okay, so at that point, the only anime I'd ever seen was Death Note, and I think Parasite the Maxim.
Good one.
That's the only anime I'd seen at that point.
What about King of the Hill? You said you watched King of the Hill.
I didn't watch King of the Hill.
Corey in the House?
Anyways, so Monkey comes over and he's like, let's watch some anime.
Yeah.
And he pulls up the most D-gen stuff you could find.
I was on Netflix, first of all.
Girls Bravo.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
We couldn't even get through the first episode.
No. My anime review of it, I think, is just up the first episode.
There was another one we watched, and then he turned on We Got to H Kai. And
one of the ones that we couldn't stand, my old friend Sai made a 20-hour YouTube analysis dissection saying why it's the most underrated, greatest anime ever.
I don't remember.
The Heaven's Lost Property about the angel girl.
That was the one.
We watched it for 5 minutes and said, this is absolute dog shit, and turned it off. And then Sai writes a dissertation about how it's amazing.
Oh, my word.
That should be your punishment. If you lose the bet, you have to watch all of Sai's review of that anime.
No.
That would be worse than watching the show itself.
Oh man, that's a story that I often tell people. Is I've seen some Degen anime, and
what does Degen mean?
Degen, degenerate?
How many extra syllables does it take to just complete the word? How much time are you saving?
Why can't I just say Degen?
Is that a real thing that people say?
Yes.
Who?
Me.
Hartsy Protsy? You're gonna follow in his footsteps? He thinks that Trump won the election. He's fucking nuts.
Hartsy is your second coming at this point. He's the new Supreme Gentleman.
He better not commit any atrocities in my name.
He will. He's gonna be like that guy that said subscribe to PewDiePie. He's gonna say subscribe to Simi and Jimmy.
Did you watch that video?
I did. You're the one that sent me the link, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know if I saw a link, but I did download it and watch it. When the guy goes in and shoots up the mosque, you actually watched that?
Yeah. It was nuts.
Yeah, that was not my proudest moment watching that, but morbid curiosity gets the best of you. That's why we watched Girls Bravo.
Oh.
So what's the story about this Degen shit that you're trying to go on about?
No, I was just saying that's an ongoing story that I tell people. Is they're like, oh, have you seen any of this? And I haven't seen, what was it, something Rosario, some other garbage.
Rosario plus vampire?
Some other garbage anime. I'm like, I've seen garbage anime, and it's all because of this guy right here.
It seems like the running theme is anything that is a fantasy harem anime about a loser high schooler who has a bunch of degenerate girls who want to fuck him. That seems to be our genre of unwatchability so far, because I feel like all of the ones we've seen we hated.
And
is there a good harem anime out there?
I don't think so. Not that I could think of. But yeah, and as far as anime goes, I've been told I have a very morbid selection, which I guess makes sense.
You have a very normie selection.
With Death Note and Parasite, and they're all gory and bloody, and
that's the most normie shit ever. You might as well say you like Dragon Ball Z. Everybody has seen, what, have you seen Full Metal Alchemist, you fucking normie?
I'm just saying.
Is that your other favorite one? You ever seen Pokemon?
A lot of people like watching the slice of life stuff, and that's fine. I just don't find it as interesting, I guess.
Have you watched any anime films like 5 centimeters per second or Your Name?
I've seen Your Name and A Silent Voice. Those were really good, actually.
What's A Silent Voice?
It's about this kid that was a huge bully to this deaf girl back in high school. And then
they fuck?
They grow up and become great friends.
And then
basically.
They fuck?
So, I guess I can't hate on Slice of Life. It is good. It's just not... I guess it doesn't grab my attention as fast as something like Death Note did. Because it's not...
Yeah, I mean,
dark and gritty.
Yeah, I think you're more into a sophisticated plot that has a lot of intrigue and back and forth between cat and mouse shenanigans, and a Slice of Life is kind of just watching nothing happen for 22 minutes, right?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's wholesome, which I don't mind. I like wholesome content.
Wholesome.
What? You don't like wholesome content?
Maybe I do more nowadays, but... That's not the Biggs I know and love. The Biggs I know and love, man, he grew up watching gore videos and laughing at them.
That was your creation of Biggs.
Yeah, that's the Biggs I miss. Go back to the way that I crafted you.
Before you crafted me into new Biggs, I was very wholesome Biggs.
Well, speaking of anime, we talked on our Pokemon series a while ago that recently came to an end. Rest in peace, Big Zynga. But we talked about, hey, maybe we should do our own One Piece Virgin podcast, and I'll make Biggs read 5 chapters of One Piece every week. But I changed my mind. I know that Biggs would not be into it. I don't want to give him homework. He's probably got enough homework. And I don't want to guilt him when he fails to read 5 chapters in a week. So instead, I'm thinking, hey, Biggs likes to watch live-action anime. He loved the Death Note movie on Netflix.
Yeah, it was great.
He had no complaints. He thought it was perfect.
Cinematic perfection.
Stayed true to the characters that he knows and loves.
They definitely didn't change the characters at all.
No.
They all acted as though they did in the anime.
Right. The people who wrote it and directed it clearly were diehard fans of the source material.
The actor choices were great.
The kid from Naked Brothers Band. Yeah, man. Like, I would cast phenomenal. Him in everything. That's the light I know. Yeah. That's Kira for you.
I'm going to take a potato chip and...
Why did they not put that scene in? Of all the scenes to skip.
Because Light Turner is not Light Yagami. He's the complete solar opposite. Solar? Well, polar opposite.
Isn't that the name of that new Rick and Morty show, Solar Opposites?
Maybe.
I'm 99% certain. Not certain. Are you pantsing too? Hey, but my point is, they are working on a live-action One Piece on for Netflix, and I know what you're thinking. It's gonna be dog shit, just like One Piece itself is. It's gonna be horrible. Live-action anime never translates. One Piece itself is so cartoony at its core, and such like a random-esque comedy. And with all these weird superpowers that would not translate to live action. I see where you're coming from, but I think maybe, just maybe, there's a 5% chance that it might be good. And when that eventually comes out in 2022 or whenever the hell it comes out, maybe I'll force Biggs to actually watch that with me. Would that be a bridge too far? Would you be willing to watch that with me?
How long do they plan on making it? Is it going to be purely the non-filler good content? Or are they going to try and add everything?
The way I would imagine it is that I think they said each season will be like 10 episodes, and I imagine they'll just each season will cover one of the major sagas. So for example, the first saga of One Piece is the East Blue Saga, which is exactly 100 chapters, and I think that translates into, 10-hour-long episodes pretty easy. Just every 10 chapters is an episode. I think they could do that pretty well. And I listened to an interview. There's a bunch of One Piece YouTubers who do this annual podcast together called The Reverie, which is a reference to One Piece. And the head writer for the Netflix show actually called in, and they interviewed him. And unlike the people who made the Death Note movie, it sounds like this guy is a genuine, die-hard, lifelong fan of One Piece. And Ichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece, is heavily involved in the production of the show. So I've got actual hope that this might turn out okay. It probably won't be perfect. It probably won't live up to the source material in the way that most things don't. But, I mean, Ichiro Oda being directly involved, that's kind of a big deal. And from the interview with the head writer, it sounds like he understands what makes One Piece One Piece. And I don't know, I think this might actually be pretty good.
Yeah, especially it seems like a lot of the live action stuff, the original creators aren't always so involved.
Definitely not.
So that's usually why it turns out awful.
Yeah,
so
because it loses the spirit and soul of the original, and you feel like you're watching some watered down fan fiction version of the thing that you know and love.
Yeah, because usually you get somebody in there that doesn't really care as much about it as obviously the original creator.
Yeah, people who are just doing it for a paycheck.
Yeah, they're like, we could just pop this out and it'll do well enough to give me my salary, I guess.
Well, for people who maybe are One Piece fans, there's a new up-and-coming YouTuber called Randy Troy, and I would highly recommend his channel. He works in the film industry, and he's also a hardcore One Piece fan, so he's making these amazing videos, talking about the pre-production of this show and what it's probably going to look like, and he's showing off photos of like they built the Going Merry, the ship that the Straw Hat Pirates are on and stuff. I would recommend checking those out. He only has like 5,000 subs, so I think people should go check him out if they're interested. But that's enough about One Piece. I'm sure everybody clicked off by now. Biggs, we should talk about how this might be the final traditional episode of the Mumkey and Bigs show. We've been talking, and we think we're going to change up the format a little bit.
Yeah, so I guess it was more so your idea, since I literally have no brain cells and can't come up with anything original.
Oh.
But yeah, we're thinking about moving it to more of like a live thing and doing like a live stream of the episodes. I guess that would open us up to a lot more like possible content, because then we can interact with the viewers.
Audience interactivity would be a lot more fun, and I think even the audio quality would be better, because one of the main issues with doing the show, and one of the reasons why it's been a monthly show now instead of weekly, is because we always film it when Biggs decides to get off his lazy ass and drive an hour north to my house, and then we share one microphone, so the audio quality it leaves a little bit to be desired. So I'm thinking, hey, what if we just stream the show weekly from our individual houses, and we just do it live and interact with the audience, and otherwise the show is exactly the same, but we don't have to wait for you to drive up here because, you know, some circumstances pop up and then you can't be here for a couple weeks. I think this could be a very positive change and give people not only more content, but let them feel like maybe they're part of the content more, rather than listening to something we recorded 3 days earlier.
Yeah, and it would also open us up to being able to have more guests on the show, like Florian, for example. I'm sure he would love to come on every now and then. Maybe,
yeah, we can bully him for not coming to hang out.
Yeah.
I'm sure once you bring up that you wanted to sleep with him, I think that might change his mind. He might want to.
He might actually be up for it now.
Yeah. Well, his dick will certainly be up, if you know what I'm saying, brother. Speaking of Biggs getting up for brothers, you got anything you want to tell us, Biggs?
About what?
So if you guys think this is a good idea or a bad idea, just let us know in the comments. Like, hey, are you gonna tune in to the live show? And even if you listen to it later, it'll be basically the same exact thing for you. Like, you won't even know the difference. I feel like we'll have the same types of conversations. It'll just be live on air instead of pre-recorded. So, hey, maybe when Biggs slips out the N-word like he does every episode,
what?
Now I won't be able to edit it out. You'll just hear it happen.
Who's the one that sits out in the living room, like, practicing his lines of saying the N-word over and over? He's like, wait, we're doing a show for YouTube. We can't say that.
You can say the N-word on YouTube.
Not if you want to stay monetized. And we make
this
money
show
off
makes
the show.
so much money.
So we wouldn't want to, sacrifice that money for you to just say your favorite word.
No self-sabotage here today. Well, speaking of self-sabotage, you want to hear the story of how I almost had a panic attack, mental breakdown a couple days ago?
Oh boy, sure.
It was a harrowing experience, and my own personal, some of my deepest, darkest fears came to life in a moment and were projected upon the one who I love the most, Biggs. It's a real harrowing tale of mischief and miscreants and sadness and sorrow.
Yes, go ahead and vent it to me.
Okay. Let me tell you a story. This is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how Blaze got stuck under the floor.
Wow.
A couple of cats, they were up to no good, started making trouble in my living hood. So I got some vents in my house. You ever hear of a vent, Biggs? You ever used one of these before?
I haven't, because I'm not an imposter, from that video game.
Oh, Minecraft?
Yeah. From Minecraft.
Yeah, I'm glad we did not stoop so low to start making, what is that, Among Us? I'm glad we didn't start making videos about that like every other sellout fucking loser. Have you been playing that on my channel?
I was just talking to somebody about playing that on a live stream. I live streamed it before, and it went somewhat okay.
On our channel?
Yes.
Oh, god damn it. Now I'm a sellout too. So sick of this shit.
But it didn't go so well. Like, I could tell people were watching the stream and seeing where I was, even with the delay. they would watch it. And
no, let me tell you, I hate Among Us because all my life, these fucking idiots online have been telling me that shows like Big Brother and Survivor are bottom of the barrel trash. And they have no fucking clue that their new favorite game is literally the exact same thing. Oh, you gotta make alliances and vote people out and get it killed by people. It's the same fucking plot as Survivor. If you ever told me I'm an idiot for liking Survivor and you play Among Us all fucking night, literally, you're the imposter of yourself. Kill yourself, end your life, jump off of... How do you die in that game? How do people get killed?
They shoot you out the air vent.
I hope you get shot out of an air vent. Go fuck yourself.
I can't think of the word, but yeah, that or they drop you in lava. So wait, does that mean Russell Hantz is both the smartest imposter and the worst ever since he got to the end of the game both times and still lost?
He got second and third place. That's not too bad.
I mean,
he won America's favorite player twice. Twice. He was our favorite twice. Here's my point. What was I talking about? Oh yeah,
the vents.
Yeah, so I got these vents in my house so that, like, you know, the heat goes through them and stuff. It's a pretty new concept. I think older houses might not have heard of that before. But the vent openings are not that big. I feel like it's maybe 4 inches by 5, teeny tiny. And my allergies have been acting up, so I was opening up the vents to stick the vacuum hose in there and suck out all the fucking dirt and cat hair and shit. I don't know how all that stuff gets in there, but it's disgusting.
It's because the cats need somewhere warm to lay down, so they go and lay on top of it.
Yeah, and then
it just collects, yeah.
And then, I made the mistake of eating Buffalo Wild Wings that day, so as I'm cleaning out the vent, suddenly I have these spicy B-dubs shits, and we all know how those go. So I run off to the bathroom, I come back a few minutes later, I finish cleaning out the vent, I put the lid back on, sit down on the couch, start watching some TV, and I hear the most horrifying sound I've ever heard in my life. It's the sound of this weird scratching, banging metal, but it's coming from, like, beneath me. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? I go outside, I look out on the deck to see if somebody's trying to break into my house. There's nothing there. I go back inside, I still hear it. And then I realize, wait, where's Blaze? Where is my cat Blaze?
Oh, no.
And I'm thinking, there's no way he's in the vent. It's so small, and he's a big boy. He's a big, thick boy. I didn't think it would be possible whatsoever that he would fit in there, in the hole, let alone crawling around, and yet he's beneath the floorboards. This motherfucker was, and there was no way for him to get out because I put the lid back on. He's been crawling around in the vents under my house for like 20 minutes. And at this point,
with the heat on?
No, I turned it off as soon as I knew that he was in there, and I don't think it was going off at that point anyway. So he was fine, but. As much as I enjoy a little bit of a tunnel exploring myself, my uncle and I played Cave Explorer a lot when I was a young boy.
Did he also take you to the city to see a marching band?
I could go on about that for at least 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
Oh man, you should. That's a good story.
Okay, when I was a young boy, my uncle, I guess, in this version of the song, took me into the city to see a marching band.
Okay.
And it was the New York City marching band. It was the Thanksgiving Day parade, and I thought, hey, they're pretty good.
Wow, that's a good 3 minute, 40-second story.
The baritone saxophones were really going all full baritone on me. The flutes were rocking out. There's a guy with the drum, and my uncle said, hey, I'm gonna die. and
then he went cave exploring.
When I was a young boy.
I sense a copyright claim coming in.
You think I sound exactly like the song?
Yep.
There must be a radio edit of that song, because I distinctly remember a part where after he calmly does the intro, he then screams it, and nobody ever believed me. So I feel like they cut that out for the radio edit. Do you recall that version of the song?
Doesn't he?
When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city. Do you remember that part?
Don't they do that later at the end, towards the end of the song?
I don't know, but when I bring it up to people, they act like I'm crazy.
We'll have to listen to it after, but I'm pretty sure that's later in the song. I don't know.
I feel like there's 2 different edits of the song, and one of them cuts it out.
I mean, we could try and find a radio edit that has that, but
there might be, because there's a Disturbed song, Down with the Sickness, and the radio edit cuts out the best part. Do you know that song?
Yeah, I know.
Like the part when he's like going crazy and he's talking about how he wants to kill his mom or something. They cut that part of the song out.
I wonder why. It's for the radio.
But it's the best part of the song. That's when he goes down with the sickness and embraces the psychosis about how he wants to kill his mother or some shit. What's the point of the song if you cut it out? I like this song.
Is that why it was your favorite song? Because it sounds like a monkey?
You get to embrace your inner monk and how angry you can be. It's great. But no, so I've always been a fan of cave exploring myself. I've made a few videos. I think there's a survival guide when I go into the drainage ditch or what are those called? Storm drains?
Yeah.
But I'm also very much claustrophobic. And when I thought about poor Blaze, his entire body is probably squished in this very tight metal tunnel that he doesn't know how to get out of, I went into full panic mode. I was projecting my own fears onto him, while I think the entire time he was having the time of his life exploring a new part of the house. He loves climbing up on top of shelves and exploring little bunkers that he's never been to, so he probably loved it. And he loved it so much that after I opened up all of the covers and started shaking his treats and begging him to come out, he spent another half an hour just walking through the house. He went through literally the entire house 3 times with me following him around, shaking his treats, begging him to come out. And I was losing my fucking mind. I called my dad and said, "Hey, are you busy? Can you come up here? I think Blaze is stuck in the vents and I don't know how to get him out." Thankfully, eventually Blaze decided to come out. And my dad didn't have to get off his lazy ass to come help me, although I don't know what he could have done about it. But man, that was a panic and a half. And a panic at the disco, if you will, Biggs. If you've ever had one of your animals get stuck in the vents of your house, let me know so I don't feel like the only fucking retard who let my cat do that.
I have it wasn't my pet, but similar story. I don't know if you were there at the time, but when me and Cobb owned this really disgusting garbage trailer.
I loved that trailer.
I'm sitting in the living room, right? And one of our vents, for some reason, didn't have a cover. It was underneath the couch. It was underneath the couch.
Is that where Cobb hit his second cell phone like fucking Walter White?
I don't know. But, so I'm sitting there one day watching TV. And I start hearing this little, like, scratching noise on the floor. I'm like, what is that? Like, we had a dog at the time, but the dog wouldn't make, like, this weird little, like, pattering something noise on the floor. So I, like, get up, I start looking around, and I look down right next to where I was on the couch, and there's a tiny baby bat.
What?
That crawled out of the vent.
You had a bat in your house?
There was a bat in the vent. It was so tiny. So, like, I got it into a bowl, and, like...
And you ate it, and then coronavirus happened?
No.
Oh.
So, or no, you weren't there. It was Rod. It was Jared. So
yeah, they know Jared. They saw him throw his spaghetti all over Walmart.
Yeah. So I'm standing there. I'm like, I don't even know what to do with this thing. Like, do I put it back outside? Like,
I would probably put it outside.
Do I take it out to the country or something? Like, I don't know where it's from.
Just get it the fuck out of your house.
Jared ended up going outside and finding, like, these little bugs, and he was feeding them to this.
He became the bat mama?
Yeah, and then he ended up leaving and taking it with him out into the country and, like, dropped it somewhere. But that was so weird. I don't know how it got in there. I don't know if there were more in there, but we ended up getting a cover for that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so...
But that weird, like, clanging, scratchy metal noise and then hearing it patter on the floor, like, it reminds me of where you're talking about the banging metal.
Oh, man, yeah, that noise drove me up the wall and under the floorboards, baby. Bad times. But, hey, he's safe now. And he keeps going over to the entry point where he got in and, like, scratching at it. So I think he wants to go exploring again. And it fucking pisses me off because he should know how upset I was. I was fucking going crazy. Get the fuck out.
I remember getting a snap that day of Blaze sticking his head out of the vent.
I could put that in the thumbnail because I have the picture. Yeah, you could just see his whole head underneath the floor.
Maybe you could cut in Isabel's screaming face that I send you.
Oh yeah, I gotta see that. I haven't seen that yet.
Oh man.
Well, Biggs, what else did we have on the list of topics today? I told you to take a list while I was playing Call of Duty.
Well,
did we get everything yet?
We still haven't talked about the election results.
I guess. Yeah, okay. I don't think you listen to the Trash Rats podcast, do you?
I listened to one. I haven't really listened to the other ones yet.
Once you listen to one, you won't want to listen to anymore. But the last couple episodes, Reactor and I have been going a little head-to-head because we have a bit of a disagreement. I don't think that's a word. We disagree about the election results.
Disagreement's definitely a word.
Okay. He basically believes every single thing that Trump says about it, and I believe reality. So I'm wondering, these people have not heard your opinion. You're a diehard anti-masker, COVID is a hoaxer, pro-Trumper. So I'm wondering, what do you think about these election results? Do you think there was fraud? How many dead people did you sign up to vote? Did you hack the election voting booth system? What's going on, Biggs?
I
genuinely don't know your opinion on this yet.
Really? I thought, maybe not. I honestly didn't really care either way how it came out.
You didn't vote, did you? Oh, no, you said you did vote.
I did vote this year.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I always feel like there's shady stuff on both sides. So it wouldn't surprise me if something happened, this election, just like all the other ones. But honestly, like, whoever gets voted in is going to be there regardless of what I think. So I'm just going to have to support whoever wins anyways.
Well,
so Biden's in there.
That's the thing, though, is that not everybody feels that way. And
yeah, but
I suspect that if Biden gets inaugurated, there are 70 million people who did vote for Trump. And I suspect, considering that this is the party that is very pro-gun, very pro-liberty, I suspect maybe there might be some sort of militia of citizens rioting in the streets.
I don't think so. I think the only way
they've already been doing that in Washington.
The only way I see a militia rising up and doing anything about
is if Trump tells them to, like he's been doing.
Is if they actually try to make a move towards stripping any gun rights, then we'll definitely see something. But I don't think it's going to be anything that's going to really change.
Well, imagine this. Put yourself into this headspace. You've been a diehard Trump supporter for the last 5 years, and you genuinely believe he's your god emperor who the media is out to get him. Everybody is just spreading fake news about him. You genuinely believe he's a good man, and you believe in everything he says. And now he's on Twitter saying, no, I won the election. It was fraud. It was cheating. The Democrats cheated. This is a coup. They're trying to steal the election from you. We need to rise up and stop this. I would not be surprised if at least a vocal minority of people wanted to protect their president and tried to maybe incite some sort of violence or civil war. That might sound extreme, but we're dealing with some extreme people.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a small group that will start something, but I don't think it's going to be as big as you might think. Like, a lot of people on the right are obviously going to be pissy about it for like the next however many years, but I don't think it's going to be a big enough amount of people that's going to actually rise up unless something crazy happens in Washington where they try to completely like do away with the Second Amendment or something. Then you'd see like a huge rising, but I don't know.
You don't think people will stand up to defend their president who they genuinely believe was robbed and that they were cheated out of their victory? You don't think people would want to stand up against that kind of tyranny?
Just not in the masses I think you're thinking, Will.
Okay.
Like, I'm sure there's those doomsday crazy people that are gonna roll around in their souped up trucks and like flash their guns, but I just don't know. I don't think there's gonna be that big of a movement, I guess. Like, I'm sure there will be a group, but
well, what if Trump just straight up tells them to do it? What if he says, "Hey, I'm not leaving. Don't let me leave"?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I've never experienced anything like that in my life, and nobody else has, obviously.
Nobody has ever experienced a president who refuses to peacefully transfer power, and I think we might see that for the first time in American history.
Maybe. I guess we'll find out. I just don't think it'll happen.
You have more faith in your fellow man to respect the law.
So. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I would hope so.
Yeah, I would hope so, too, because, I'm not saying I'm scared because nobody's coming for me, but I don't know. I don't know if our country's going to be a super happy place for the next maybe year.
Not like it's been a super happy place since Trump was elected anyways. There's been people burning down cities for years.
Yeah.
Over being pissed about him being in office.
Among other things, yeah.
So, if riots do happen, it won't surprise me. They've been happening. It'll just be More of the same, I guess.
This time it'll be people in white robes rather than Antifa. You know,
I thought
two sides of the same horseshoe.
I thought the white pointy hat guys already had their day in Charlottesville. Wasn't that a riot or something?
I suspect they'll be coming back pretty soon.
I guess we'll find out in due time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess generally I just don't care that much. Whoever wins, they won. And
yeah, I guarantee you and me will not have our lives affected regardless of who the president is. I've felt that way since I was born. I don't think any president has ever changed my life in any way.
And the thing is, really, is like, I hate using the analogy, but it's like whoever is the president is like the pilot of a plane. If you're gonna really like sit there and bash them and hope they do bad, you're on that plane. Like, you have to suffer their consequences. So if you're hoping he fails...
I don't know about that. I don't think you should suffer the consequences of ridiculing the most powerful man in the country.
No, what I'm saying is, like, if you hope they do bad and then they do bad, then, you know, whatever consequences the country has to take on, you are also taking that. So why not support them and hope for the best, you know, and then...
I think people have probably been doing that for about 4 years now, and then after the coronavirus massacre, maybe people have lost hope in this president to do the right thing.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying for the next one.
Well, yeah, I don't think...
Because I don't necessarily agree with a lot that Biden says, but I'm still going to support him as my president, like...
You're a stronger man than most. I suspect those other 70 million voters probably won't be as kind and hopeful with the Biden presidency.
Well, yeah, and I don't know. Personally, I just think that's a stupid idea of, like, wishing the worst on the president because you're also part of that. Because, like, I remember...
You don't hope that Trump goes to prison?
I don't think he will.
No, he 100% will not.
Yeah, nobody
else. He's
else.
going to pardon himself right before he leaves office, and he has the right to do so. It's kind of fucked up that the president can commit any crime he wants because he has the power to pardon himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I'll allow it.
Yeah, I remember when Trump got elected, everybody's like, oh yeah, well, I hope he starts World War III. This and that. I'm like... Really? You hope he starts World War III? You realize you'll be a part of that,
You're going to get your ass drafted, son.
Yeah. So, like, yeah.
Well, I don't want to fearmonger too much. I'm just expressing what I think the worst case scenario is. Realistically, I think Trump is going to eventually kowtow, and he probably won't show up to the inauguration just to save face, but I suspect a peaceful transfer of power and just a bunch of butt-mad people on the internet, like usual.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of people that are fearing like a whole Putin thing where he just kind of stuck around and decided he wasn't leaving, but I can't see anything like that happening. Not here, at least.
I fucking hope not. I hope we don't become Russia. Well, should we listen to some old-ass voicemails then?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Might as well.
Okay, we have one from October 8th, so quite a bit ago, a guy named Bob World, and it's called Rip Mumkey and Bigs. This must have been after our funeral, maybe?
Probably.
I would assume so. Let's take a listen.
Today, we're here to celebrate the lives of two gay lovers.
Did he submit his eulogy
Jones,
way too late?
And the other is...
Probably.
Biggsington, and they loved each other. Loved each other.
That's a sick reference. Okay. Love each other. Love each other. Here's one from Ian. Let's see what he has to say.
Hey, how's it going, Mumkey? Yeah, I just want to say, I sent you a whole bunch of stuff back like a long time ago during the summer. And I sent you like One Piece stuff and you like never opened it up.
What?
I'm disappointed about that.
What?
And I'm also very saddened by the loss of like Biggs from his death of anorexia. And that really disappointed me. But I didn't have the time really to go to your funeral because I was too busy playing Minecraft and doing other cool stuff.
Fair.
But overall, you know, please open up the mail people sent you because we do care. We do want you to open up our stuff and see what we sent you. Also, have a great day. See you soon.
Wow, that was a surprisingly nice voicemail. Man, fuck, I gotta find which package is from Ian. I want some One Piece shit. God damn. That reminded me, I got a thing in the mail saying that my P.O. box expires in about a week. I need to go pay for it again, so I should probably go do that and check it.
We should probably also actually post that somewhere because people keep asking for it and we say it in videos, but
my P.O. box is in the description of every main channel video I post. I mean, I guess I don't know how people would know that. Just check the description sometimes if you want to know
a lot of people
information.
don't check the description of videos.
They probably should because that's where you put information. But yeah, I've been meaning to film another mailbag, but I recently got a haircut that I didn't like and I didn't want to go on camera. So then I thought, I'll just wear the monkey mask. But then I was like, I don't know if some people requested it, but it might just seem like, I don't know. Do you think it's a good idea to do another 15-minute mailbag of me screaming through a thick rubber mask? Is that what people really want to listen to?
I mean, either that or you could, well, I guess you don't want to spend more money to make a video that's, I don't know. But you could get like a little mic for inside the mask.
It would still sound like garbage because it's just echoing inside the rubber mask. I'll make one soon. Maybe I'll wear the Jumpy mask. It's a little bit thinner. And I mean, who cares? Who really cares? But yeah, dude, I can't wait to open that. That sounds awesome. Even if those videos only get 5,000 views, I don't give a shit. Here's one called Biggs Spider Cock. Okay.
Poopy, like the feces, poopy, I like that.
Oh, Biggs, that sounds like one of your fans. Anything you want to say?
That was not wholesome. That's not from one of my fans.
YouTube says your video has been age restricted. Which one was this? Our video Chips Challenge number 3 was age restricted. Okay.
That makes sense.
Our video Rip My Nigga Dan number 2 was...
Scroll down.
No surprise there. Oh, is there?
Click on the... same thing.
It's the same thing twice.
It's
well,
sent twice.
I guess if you're not 18, you can't watch episode 3 of our Chips Challenge Let's Play. Speaking of which, Biggs, we keep getting messages and comments and requests wondering when Chips Challenge will return. If I recall, we said we'll only do another episode after we get however so many specific types of fan art of us with Chip. And if I recall, we got about 7 really shitty MS Paint fan arts within a day and then never got any more again. So as far as I'm concerned, we don't owe them any more Chips Challenge at all.
That sounds fair to me, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want it, you have to go listen to that episode and then make the fan art and then send it. You have to earn those videos. And I think that was the final voicemail, but we do have something here called Frid x Biggs fan fiction.
No, please.
Biggs, do you want to remember or remind everybody who Frid is in case some people aren't caught up?
So, there was a... Well, I guess
one of Biggs' closest friends in high school.
So he was a guy we knew in high school. He did videos with Mumkey back in the day. And I think where the Bring Back Frid thing happened was, I remember some comments on one of the videos where it showed him in the dumpster for the first time. It happened.
Well, I use that shot of Frid in the dumpster a lot when I say, "Oh yeah, boy, I sure do hope somebody got fired for that blunder." That's Frid.
One of the first times I saw it, I remember seeing comments saying like, "Oh, Biggs looks so much different." And I remember commenting like,
"They thought you were Frid."
I was like, "How dare you? That's not me. That's Frid." So
as if Biggs was ever that skinny in his whole life.
It became a joke in the comments for a bit, and then this guy appeared in my emails and on Twitter.
Oh, you know this guy who sent in the fan fiction?
All the time. He's constantly spamming me on Snapchat saying, "Please unblock me on Twitter. Bring back Frid." All the time. So
well, let's do a classic popcorn reading of this fan fiction.
I'm not reading this.
We'll go back and forth one paragraph at a time.
I can see what is in this right now.
You don't think we should read it?
No, we should not read it.
So I'll read it.
Oh, no.
Frid woke up next to Biggs. It had been a wild night, and he groaned as he sat up to assess his surroundings. Somehow, after an evening of drinking, he and Biggs had made their way to the Prager. Is it PragerU?
I think it's PragerU.
PragerU. Is that like a conservative online school?
I think so.
Okay. PragerU secret gay sex room. Frid squinted as he tried to remember the exact details of that wild night. Flashback noises. Okay, you want to read the flashback?
No, I'm not reading any of this.
Come on. Oh, I gotta do your voice. Come on, Frid. We should head to the secret gay sex room, said Biggs. Frid frowned. I want to have gay sex, Biggs, he stated. But you know I don't enjoy CBT. What does CBT stand for, Biggs? Do you know?
I have no idea.
You don't know? Yeah, I think you know.
Oh. Yeah.
What's CBT stand for?
It's the thing of marijuana that's legal, right?
Well, what is that called? CBD?
Yeah.
CBD is, I don't think, all that related to marijuana, first of all. It might be extracted from hemp, but I don't think it's anything close to THC. But CBT, for those of you who don't know, is comic book time. It's when you read a comic book with your closest friends. Yeah,
even though I don't read comics, but that's what it means.
And then you torture their cock and balls, I think.
Oh.
That might be the main draw of comic book time. Biggs whined. But you know, I want to have a gay CBT party, Friddy boy. Frid gave in. If you let me pound you hot, sweet ass tomorrow, I'll do the gay CBT party tonight. Deal. Biggs and Frid performed the PragerU cock shake and went into the gay sex room. Now, Biggs, do you know the secret handshake, the PragerU cock shake? Do you want to show me how that's done?
I don't.
No.
And also, I'm reading further along, and I really don't want to keep.
No spoilers, dude.
I really don't want to continue.
Come on, no
Please.
spoilers. There's only 2 more paragraphs.
It gets so bad. Oh no!
The first machine Frid was strapped into was the Wendy's Frosty machine. Whoa, they got one of those at PragerU. Maybe I should sign up. Biggs moaned in pleasure as he pushed the start button. Frid's balls began to gently... What do you think Frid himself would think if he found out we were reading some gay sex fantasy about him in front of thousands of people? As a guy who I think I probably had a not so great ending of the relationship with maybe 6 years ago. What would he think if I'm still giving him shit all these years later to a much larger audience than we ever had?
No.
I don't think he would be all that happy about it.
A lot of people in the comments think this is Frid.
Oh, you think he found our channel and he's like writing fan fiction about himself? I don't know if he would be into you. I think Frid would be more into me.
Well, obviously, he hated my guts.
Yeah. He only shared his now and laters with me. He wouldn't share his candy with anybody else at school.
Yeah, he said not now and not later to me.
Frid's balls began to gently spin in the cold, unforgiving, frosty mixture. His genitalia shriveling with every spin. At first, Frid was in excruciating pain, but as his balls began to get frostbite, he noticed more and more pleasure and less pain. Oh, God, yes, moaned Frid after 5 minutes in the frosty machine. Biggs saw his best friend... Wait, best friend? Biggs, you got something you want to tell me?
I want to tell you this is all false.
Okay. Biggs saw his best... Yeah, the phrase best friend is the first time I had a problem with this story. That's the first time I thought this nonfiction was going a little too far. Biggs saw his best friend's pleasure and started jerking off. Well, that's kind of nice of you. You get sexually aroused by your friend's pleasure, and that's how it should be. That's true love. Do you concur?
No.
I concur, said Biggs. Where am I? Then Frid couldn't hold it in any longer. He came harder than he ever had, his shriveled balls pushing out every droplet of conservative sperm? What does that mean? Am I reading that wrong?
Because he's a right-wing conservative.
So his sperm is too?
Yeah.
It was then
That's why they said PragerU.
Ah, okay. I guess I'm catching up on the lore. It's so deep and rich I didn't even notice it the whole time. It was then that Frid realized the brilliance of the frosty machine. As the cum flowed out of his dick, it froze solid, the ice crystals in the cum spreading down his dick faster than he could pump it out. The icy cum ball kept getting bigger inside his frozen urethra as Frid howled in pleasure, that pleasure only making him cum more. Wow. Eventually, his balls receded into his crotch, and there was no more cum to freeze. I hate it when that happens. Biggs pulled Frid out of the frosty machine. Frid's mind was broken from the pleasure. His dick stretched to 16 inches in diameter from the frozen cum stuck inside him. Oh my God. You really gave him a night to remember. Frid realized that was only one machine of many, and he would have to think long and hard to recall them all. But first, he had to change his newly sticky briefs. Wow, what a story, Biggs. You said you wrote this?
I'm really sad that you had to read that all.
Oh, I didn't have to. I chose to. It really was my pleasure. And it sounds like it was your pleasure too.
When you asked Biggs, do you want to listen to some voicemails?
You didn't think it would come to this?
I didn't think it would come to this. I literally saw this one come in, and I thought about deleting it.
So I wouldn't see
Yes.
So, I mean,
Why didn't I delete it?
It's very, well, you're about to regret it even more because it's very clear that there is a subsection of our audience that is mentally ill and willing to write this kind of thing. And I'm thinking, well, if Biggs is so offended by him and Frid, I mean, how bad would it be if we got fan fiction of, the story starts off with Biggs saying, "Fuck me, brother," and then, it goes on from there. Well, what would happen if Biggs and his brother had a
deleting the
story?
email starting today.
You're gonna change the password on me?
Gonna change it and make it to where you can't log in.
Please do not send in fan fiction of Biggs fucking his brother. I just think it would be inappropriate.
Yes, it would be awful.
And I definitely...
If you do, I will ban you from emailing us.
We actually do have another voicemail. I guess we could have skipped that entire story and just went to this voicemail.
Oh, no.
This is called "Please Biggs, Please, I Need You." Let's take a listen. Sounds like this guy's reading the Frid story.
Bigsington's fat fucking cock up my ass.
Okay.
When I see him walk, when I hear his voice, when those fat rolls
Why are you licking
jiggle.
your lips, Biggs? You look why are you covering your lap with a pillow? Oh God, no, he's doing it for real.
I'm sorry. No. Biggs.
Can we turn this off?
It's not over.
This is unsettling.
Meet me at CarbsCon
Carbs Con.
2021.
You go to Carbs Con?
What is that?
It's where you go to eat carbs and get fat as fuck.
To see you there. Just make a note, please.
You should probably turn the heat on. It sounds really cold.
No, I think those are shivers of...
No. No, he's just cold.
There's got to be more voicemails in here somewhere. Actually, here's another story. Do you want me to read this? Wow, there's a lot of shit in here. What the fuck? Some guy sent in his whole diary. I don't know if I want to read any of this. This is just weird. We get some weird stuff in this email. Did you sign us up for Crunchyroll with this email?
I didn't.
Somebody did. Please confirm your account. What's the name of the account? I want to call this guy out. Well, it doesn't say. You guys should watch this. It's called Death Note the Musical. It's just Death Note but better. You ever hear of this? Death Note the Musical, Biggs?
No, I haven't. I don't
something
feel like
on YouTube.
Don't feel like I want to watch that.
Okay. Oh, here's another voicemail. This is too reptile-brained for the Depression Chamber. Let's see how it fares on the Mumkey and Bigs show. Sent in September. Okay.
It's going to be 10 minutes long.
That's okay.
Oh, 1 minute.
Mumkey,
Yeah.
I tried to use your Our Vegan Subhuman video to... I tried to use it as an icebreaker.
Don't send people you know my videos.
Didn't work out so well. We're not even friends anymore.
Yeah, I bet.
I tried working on our relationship since like March. Or no, not March, January. On quarantine.
Probably don't send it to a vegan.
That trifled it. Just want some advice. Honestly, what should I do? I mean, her life's frigged. I don't know how to relate. Oh, well. There's a lot of... She can't tell me a lot of stuff.
Oh, it was a girl?
Yeah, what do you...
Oh, my God.
She's in the middle of a court case with someone in her family. I don't know.
What?
But
why is he telling us
I just
this?
need some advice. What can I use as an icebreaker? Honestly.
It sounds like you already
The
heard it.
our vegan
the ice has been
didn't work out
broken.
well. I kept asking her. I mean, I'm garbage. I have a bit of a slow wit.
I can tell.
Biggs,
Rude.
Monkey. Just give me some advice, man. Come on, brothers. Let's
Fuck
go.
me, brother. Okay, so to summarize, he had a crush on a vegan girl, and to break the ice with her, he sent her my video saying that vegans are subhuman retards, and now he's confused why, while she's battling her family in court during a stressful period of her life, he's wondering why she doesn't want to talk to him, and he wants our advice. Biggs, you are the expert in this field. You have sent Mumkey videos to many a girl, and, I assume gotten laid by all of them. So, what's your advice? How did you do it when he failed? And which of my videos do you usually send to a girl when you want to get fucked?
If one stops replying, just go on to the next.
Yep. If you have to double or triple text, she's clearly not into you, and no amount of begging or calling yourself trash will, believe it or not, that will not convince her to want to go on a date with you. I don't think girls really appreciate that kind of stuff from people who they're not already in like an intimate relationship with, and if you don't already have that emotional vulnerability with somebody who you know intimately and have known for a long time, they probably don't care that you're depressed. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest, girls don't want to hear that kind of shit unless you already know them very well, and you know.
For some reason, this is reminding me of a tweet I saw the other day. It was titled like, guys really be like ruining their own chances or something. It was a screenshot of this guy who matched with a girl on Tinder. She's clearly interested
On chicken tender?
She's clearly interested in him, but the whole time he's like, oh, you just won't accept me because I'm too short. Like,
let me guess, he's taller than both of us.
I'm below average height.
How tall was he? Was he taller than us?
He was like 5'6".
Oh, okay. Yeah, fuck that guy. Who wants to date a man?
But he's like,
I'm the king over here at 5'7".
He's like, I just never get a chance. Like, I'm too short. Women hate me. She's like, well, clearly I'm interested. If you just change the subject to something, and he just kept dwelling on it, dude. And she's like, well, clearly I was interested, but now I'm not, and like, you ruined your own chances, man.
Yeah, the self-pity, man. Like, you might think it's, oh, girls are probably scared of me. They think I'm a big masculine man. I gotta bring myself down to their level by negging myself and showing my insecurity. Turns out nobody's attracted to that. We've all had to learn that the hard way, I'm pretty sure.
Like Mumkey was saying, there's a point in a relationship where you're close enough with someone where you can share like your insecurities and you can talk about it. But if it's an icebreaker and you're just like laying it all out, usually that turns them off. Like, especially
on Tinder, which is 99% a hookup app. You probably don't want to have a one-night stand with a guy who's like, oh, I'm too short to get fucked. Okay. And why do you think I matched you?
It's just a lot to unpack when you're first meeting somebody, when they just lay out that they're a garbage human being and all this. Like,
and if somebody identifies, like, if their personality is something like, oh, I'm a vegan, I hate the cruelty of animals, folks, and your first thought is, I'm going to send an unfunny video made by a third-rate YouTuber who has been canceled 4 times, and I'm going to send this video to break the ice. You really should not be surprised if she's not into it. I've checked my analytics. I think my audience is about 4% women. So your chance of a woman enjoying anything I've ever made is dangerously low to begin with, let alone something that is directly mocking her lifestyle.
You should probably shoot your shot in the comments section. You have better luck there, I think.
Oh, dude, I feel like so many relationships have been sparked in our community, especially just over the last 5 years of me doing this shit. A lot of people have come together. A lot of people have given each other black eyes and been torn apart and arrested. It's been lots of relationships bloom
successful,
and lots of them decay.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like indirectly I've gotten a lot of people laid, and I'm very proud of that. If you've gotten laid because of people you met in my community, you should give me $1 on Patreon. I think it's only fair. It's only fair.
It's the only fair payment.
No, yeah, because I'm not getting laid for my shit anymore, so somebody has to, and I should get paid for it. I feel like the ultimate pimp daddy. I'm getting all these people's noodles wet. So yeah. And one day, we're going to get fucking Florian laid. He still hasn't gotten laid, and we're going to fix that. Ladies in the comment section, if you want to fuck a literal millionaire who will probably have sex with you and then say, oh, can you pass me the corn pizza? If that will get your
Why
pussy
you gotta
wet.
do our boy Florian like that, man?
What, you don't think he's gonna eat corn pizza after he busts a nut? I would. He's gonna be hungry. It takes a lot out of a man.
He hungry.
He hungry.
So stupid.
Florian, if you listen to this episode, I will not apologize.
I'll apologize on his behalf.
Okay. No, I'm trying to get him laid. He almost got laid with Toot, but I convinced him that maybe, I mean, nothing against Toot personally, but I was like, yeah, maybe you could probably want to try like the natural pussy first, then move on to the artificial pussy. That's how I would do it. You got to start with the real shit to make sure you like it or not, you know? Would you have sex with Toot?
No.
That's rude.
Why is that rude?
Toot's a big fan of you.
So?
You should have sex with your fans.
Having standards is rude?
Whoa! First of all, if anything, Toot would be the one rejecting you. I don't know why you're bringing standards into this, Biggs.
Okay, not standards, preferences. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's much. That is much kinder of a phrase. Toot and Florian, go ahead and fuck. I don't give a shit. Hey, everybody, that's it for the hopefully last pre-recorded episode of the Mumkey and Bigs show.
Very strange episode.
Yeah.
I don't know why we had to delve into some of the stuff we did. But
it's hard to fill up an hour.
What a way to send off the show into the new live series.
So is the plan Thursday evenings or Thursday nights that we'll be doing this show live here on this channel?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, and once we figure out the day and time for sure, we should just be dedicated and do it same time, same place, every single week. No excuses.
Yeah.
Especially since we can just film it from our own houses. You don't have to drive a 2-hour round trip to record a shitty podcast. It'll save you a lot of money on gas. And maybe we'll actually get a couple super chats, considering this podcast so far has us net negative because the gas money required to drive here is a shit ton more than this show makes in ad revenue.
Hey, don't worry. The last Dark Souls stream I did, I made $3. That got me at least a quarter of the way here.
Yeah, that's true. It probably got you a half of a quarter pounder at McDonald's too. Speaking of which, I know we just shared a large pizza, but do you want to go to McDonald's tonight?
Oh man,
I kind of want to get a large Coke.
Yeah, I guess.
Do you want a large Coke?
Yeah, I guess.
Uh-oh.
Large McDonald's Coke, there's nothing that beats it.
Yeah, rip my teeth, rip my cholesterol, rip my body fat, rip it all.
What about Dan?
Rip my nigga Dan.
Are you gonna rewatch the Dan season with me when I get there?
Edge of Extinction? No, that was Island of the Idols. Ugh. Island of the Idols. Season 39 of Survivor is
it was really bad.
Yeah, it's not horrible, it's just not good.
Yeah, the premise I think was interesting. If they actually
nobody cares. Can we end this? Do they want to hear your review of season 39 of Survivor?
Okay, we already ended the episode, but we can still go on.
This is the post show.
They'll keep listening. Like, what else are they gonna do?
True. These people are
go enjoy their lives.
Yeah, it's COVID
that's laughable.
Season. Yeah, they want a 4-hour podcast.
But think about it. Like, if they actually used what they gave themselves, like, to a better outcome, I guess it would have been good. Like, the challenges they did were really dumb. Like, sneak over to the enemy's camp and take this.
Well, they did that again in Winners at War when Sarah had to sneak into the enemy camp, and that was funny because Tony was spitting on her face to put the black smudges under her eyes. That was funny.
I don't know. I think Island of the Idols would have been a lot better if they fleshed it out a lot more. It seemed really rushed, honestly.
And if they didn't kick Dan off right before the finale when he did literally nothing wrong. Dan should have won the season.
Dan,
rip my nigga.
Could you imagine the outcry if Dan won that season? Dude, I don't think Survivor would have recovered from that if he won.
A lot of people said that they were quitting the show, but then Winners at War was the next season, and you can't skip the all-winner season because no other reality show in history has done that.
And also, why would they quit the show? Like, Dan literally got booted off. What else were they supposed to do?
I don't. They probably just felt bad for the little Asian chick who got a little too touched.
I think it's really dumb that he was banned from the reunion.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, it makes sense. You get kicked off the show, you probably won't be invited to the reunion.
Yeah, I guess.
One last rip my nigga Dan for the road.
Yep.
Go ahead and say it, Biggs.
Rip my homie Dan.
God damn you.